If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
First day's hard.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
They truly shall. Okay, you guys, a total Death stream for 2022.
Yes.
Next song on the list is Megadeth, Tears in a Vial. And this is a relationship song for Sori.
I need a child. I dedicated it to you?
Well, because he knows I like relationship songs, so.
Death fan is the only person in the village that could dedicate a relationship
No, he didn't
song.
dedicate a relationship song to me. He was just saying
Would
he
you
picked
just let
one.
me finish the
Oh,
sentence?
go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
That could say this one is a Sori where I wouldn't look at him with the screw thing. That's my man. That's my man.
Yep.
Don't you try to do it, dear listener. All right. Here's Jeff. You're almost as bad as the commies that run YouTube.
Yeah, really.
All right, guys. Let's do it. The name of this song is Tears in a Vial by the band Megadeth. Let's go.
This may seem all too confusing. How I could walk away from something so rare. But you see, it all got too demanding, yeah.
Oh no!
And I just didn't care
Okay.
You were so beautiful to look upon. I could see the light in your smile. Your eyes were the windows into your soul. Your body was heavenly, just like the sky.
Nice.
Until all your good looks betray you, which ain't much. Counted on your count of the smiles all too long.
Oh no!
Your eyes are empty, windows broken. The body may be here, but the soul is gone. I say my tears for you in a vial. From every wicked thing that you did, that you said, to sit away, buried with your love. So many tears in a vial. Now that you're gone, and now that you're dead.
Wow. This song looks like a lot of things.
Yeah. It didn't
Why is
end
everybody
well.
saying the system has failed? I don't know why. What's up, Princess? Good to see you.
I don't know. Hello.
I don't know why everybody's saying the system has failed. It's probably a
Oh boy.
what do you call it?
Well, I don't know if this is a love song. It didn't end well.
Well, I mean that's pretty much all love songs, right?
No.
That's pretty much all love songs. A lot of them.
What love songs are you
don't
listening
end
to?
Very well.
It's true.
In metal.
But yeah, this one was really in his range. I agree, and I liked what they did with it sonically. It was very. This one was my favorite of the night. Surprise, surprise. Although,
I think it's a relationship song. For all of you who don't know, that's Sori's trademark. Everything is a relationship song with this woman.
that's because I like relationship.
Okay, go ahead.
This. Did she die? She died?
Yeah.
You know, this is the first time that I've ever seen something that, like, honest in a song. You
What
were
do
so
you mean?
beautiful to look upon. I could see the light in your smile. Your eyes were the window into your soul. Your body was heavenly, just like the sky. So it seems pretty good there. Then verse 4, until all your good looks betrayed you, which ain't much. Counted on your counterfeit smiles for too long. Your eyes are empty windows, broken. The body may be here, but the soul is gone. And then he talks about her being dead, and I'm assuming that's what he means by she's dead. She was relying on her beauty, but inside she wasn't. And I think that obviously can happen. If you're a very beautiful person, then you don't have to work on yourself as a person. You don't have to work unless you're in a relationship with someone who forces the issue. Otherwise than that, you can probably go on your merry way and you know, whatever, get away with a lot because of what you look like. Because society is run a lot by if you're attractive. So, I mean, I can definitely see that happening to someone. Why are you looking at me, babe? Stop looking at me. Thank you for the tea.
Well, I do think like relationship wise, that very beautiful people end up at a disadvantage to a degree, because the opportunities for growth that people have are, you know, you just don't get them because people are always trying to curry your favor, especially dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, also, remember we were watching that, it was a girl on YouTube. I don't remember. I know that she was black, and she was saying that she wasn't a very pretty person.
The pretty privileged girl.
Yeah, she was talking about it, and she was saying that she's not pretty, and that when she goes places, like, she really has to, like, you know, bring out her humor and put her best foot forward and just stay positive, and where, you know, prettier people are, they can just kind of be like, well, whatever, you know? And I think that, you know, the tables, I guess they would naturally end up turning, because you're not young and beautiful for the majority of your life, really. I mean, so if you have to spend, like,
but relatively speaking,
you might be good looking for your age.
You're always going to be the prettiest teenager in a room when you were a teenager. You're always going to be the prettiest 20-something when you're in the room when you're a 20-something. You're always going to be the prettiest 30. You're always, you see what I'm saying? Like, I understand the youth aspect of it, but, you know, like, I'm not looking at a teenager anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at people in your age category, and you're always going to be that wherever you go. So, you know, that's not going to go away.
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But you have a lot more than just being a beautiful person.
Thank you.
Like, when I first ran into you, it was your seriousness about God that kind of blew me away. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even looking at you like that.
Right.
Like, when I first ran into you, you know, we were so young, but, like, you know, I took my walk with Christ pretty seriously, but that's because by that young age, I had been in multiple life and death situations and all types of craziness. And so I took my Jesus very, very seriously, and just, you know, look, when you're young, you're in your 20s, like, you know, people, it's time to party and all that. And my mind was, like, elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And so when I first ran into you, I was like, holy shit, this girl I thought I was like a unicorn. And then, like, and it's hard to find people to relate to when you take Christ so seriously at such a young age.
No, that's true. That was definitely a thing that, well, once I knew that you were a Christian and you weren't there to rob my parents.
To rob your parents. Yeah. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's like, that was the main thing. Like, I've been around a couple pretty girls for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say they were vacuous and empty. I'm not gonna say that. It's just they didn't have the kind of depth that, you know, like, we're talking to Atlas Shrugged, we're talking the Jewish Wars, we're talking, you know, preterism, we're talking Revelation 8 and Jewish Wars Book 6 and how that relates to each other, which is pretty freaking crazy the way that you put that together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and on the other side of that, you know, like today, you know, we just took a very, very big step in our small business. Shout out to Amy Lee, by the way, for the assist.
Seriously.
Thank you so much for that. And
plus, it helped with the different frustrating, you know what I mean, things we had to deal with. So every time that you were like, you would tell me when Amy was like, "Oh, fuck that," or whatever she was saying. But it was very funny. Because we too were frustrated.
Yeah, the three of us are dealing with this bitch.
I felt so bad because Vinny was having to deal with the frustrating elements of it, and I just kept jumping into the email to read the thread because it was so interesting.
Well,
anyway, so
for whatever reason means, you know, obviously I'm not on the attraction scale, and so the ability to bag very, very pretty people.
Bag?
Well, that's what we call it in the hood. You know, like, obviously, like, you know, being able to get girls that were out of my league. I'm saying for whatever reason, because, you know, whatever. But, you know, when we pulled in and we were just talking after our big victory for our small business, we got a massive victory in our small business. I'll tell you later, I'm Death fan, but don't tell anybody. And it's like, holy shit, we're really about to do this shit. Like, we're really about to go and take over the world with this shit. And I remember like thinking to myself, like, I said it out loud. I'm like, you got to really pick a partner wisely, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
You're beautiful. So easy to look at, obviously, but for you to close that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, the partnership aspect of our relationship to me is the funnest part of it. Fortnite, whatever it is, that's the funnest part about the relationship to me. And if it was just the physical side of it, it's like, I mean, I've known you for like 10 years, and you're...
It's more than that now. It's like 15.
You're legitimately more beautiful than you were when I first ran into you. But you
Disagree, but I appreciate
you
the
legitimately
compliment.
are. But like, it's the other aspects of our relationship and the versatility that you have as a person that's the funnest part of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, like...
As far as, like, both of us go, that there's a lot of elements to what makes you you.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously, you know, I've been with people that, you know, I didn't really think the guy was that attractive, but apparently other people thought so. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there was like not a whole lot of person to him.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here? And
Yeah.
it was a very, you know, and I always found myself in those situations, you know, if I was in a relationship with people or whatever, it was like, you know, even if the person was cool, and I always like it if somebody's funny. And when Vinny gets on his funny kicks, it's funny as fuck.
What was a couple days ago? And you were saying they didn't agree with our miracle. They were doubting her miracles.
They were doubting her miracles. And we were like, I don't know, there's been quite a few times where we'll just like bust. And I don't even know that we're laughing about things that are like.
Feel better, Sadie.
Yeah, feel better. I didn't know Sadie
You
was feeling
absolutely
sick.
helped us, Sadie Fashal. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And she was sick as a dog. She was sick as a dog taking care of shit.
Amy.
Yeah.
So just but being able to connect with somebody on different fronts is super important, and it really like takes the relationship to kind of a different spot, because you know each relationship is going to have like its shadow seasons, or its parts that are, you know, I get frustrating to you, you get frustrating to me, you know, like we both.
How dare you say I get
we both
frustrated?
do
How
things
dare
that
you?
annoy each other, you know, like stuff that makes each other mad or whatever. But then there's a lot of other positive elements to the relationship that, you know, that really makes it great. And obviously, like, growing up in a, this is gonna sound so weird. Probably nobody's even gonna be able to relate. It's probably completely pointless saying this, but growing up in the culture that we grew up in, and the purity culture, and like there was all this like pressure that was put on sex. I thought to myself, well, I mean, even if I don't really like the guy that much, well, at least we'll be able to have sex. And now that I'm like an adult and I have like an adult mind about it, and I'm outside of that purity culture, I'm like, holy shit, no. No. There has to be more than that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There has to be.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Now, in the comment section, people are saying this song is using relationship actually as a metaphor for him leaving the band.
Oh.
So he says, this may seem all too confusing. How could I walk away from something so rare? But you see, it got all too demanding, and I just didn't care. I don't care if I cared. So,
Yeah, but what about all the looks betraying you?
well, yeah, I mean, that can work
Your
with
eyes
the band.
being
So
empty.
apparently,
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
there's like, he either injured his arm or he walked away from the band temporarily to be with his family. Because he did. He says, I had to walk away, gave up something I love for what I loved even more, and saved my tears for you. So that's that decision.
So what do you think
that
he
had to
wanted?
make. Huh?
What do you think he wanted?
Well, I mean...
Well, if he's saying counted on your counterfeit smiles for too long, like
Yeah, maybe
maybe
he's
it just
talking
wasn't
about-
working for him anymore.
Maybe he's talking about the fans and all that, right? Like, being a rock star where people that love you but they don't really know
Yeah.
you, versus being with your family.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's... If you're a high performing person, or let me say it this way, if you're part of something, you know, like, it's like I said, I had to get out of that situation because I knew me and you were never going to be able to work.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, me saying, well, I got to go. I got to get on a plane for 2 or 3 weeks, and, you know, don't ask me where I am, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I just knew that was not going to work in our relationship. So I had to, and it wasn't just you, like the kids, homegirl, had just,
no.
there was a lot of moving parts happening at the same time. So
I honestly didn't even, like, you were so vague about everything that I kind of understood but kind of didn't understand. And so I don't even think I realized that that's how it would have been if you didn't make like a
drastic change.
Yeah. I don't think I really pieced it together. Or maybe it was just that I was under a lot of stress from my own personal situation, that maybe that's why I wasn't like piecing together, I don't know.
Yeah, like
the sacrifice that you made, I guess.
Well, I mean, again, it wasn't just you, it was the kids as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids were in really, really, really bad shape. And I just knew, I'm like, I'm like, there's no way it's gonna work. Like that's like I said, like all my guys, everybody's divorced except for one guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of lifestyle is just not very conducive to relationships. But it's hard because like you work so hard.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
like and you're never gonna be able to replicate, those kinds of, and you have to make sure that if you're out, you're out. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the whole Brady situation.
I know. God. Poor guy.
He had one of the best seasons of his life.
Yeah.
At the close of this season, you know what I'm saying? And he had, his guys are coming back and everything. Like, it's like, how could you walk away from that? But like, it's been 22 years, bro.
Yep.
Like your family is giving it for 22 years.
And the thing is,
it's
like,
their turn now.
Your kids, they're gonna hit an age where they're gonna be like, peace. They want to go live their lives.
Right.
And like, I think because like our family, I could be completely wrong, but because our family is so close knit, I think that they're not going to, like, we're raising them to be functioning adults, not to be kids that are going to be hiding under my apron strings or hiding behind daddy all their lives. Like, these kids are being raised to go on to be entrepreneurs for themselves, to, handle themselves, handle their business. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely training them for that. But at the same time, like, there's a closeness to our family that I think that is going to last even when they go on with their lives, that there's still going to continue to be a closeness.
100%. 100%.
So I think, yeah.
Yeah, and you get that perspective, you get that perspective after a while, after you've done it, because after you think you've scaled this mountain, that was impossible, whether it's being a rock star, being in whatever, being an NFL football player, and to walk away when you're at the peak of your powers for the sake of your family.
Yep.
I think is
that's what I was gonna say. His kids are growing without him being around because he's put so much time into the sports. So you are creating a certain culture with them that when it's time for them to go, they're probably gonna go and live their lives and do their thing just like their dad did. He wanted his thing and he went and did it, and so they're probably gonna do the same thing. So, he can't wait honestly too much longer. I mean, those kids are getting older. I don't know how old they are exactly, but they keep getting bigger every time he wins another Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I love the dude. Like, I really love him.
You really do. You do.
I really truly love him. But But if you love him, then you're gonna want what's best for him. And I used to tell Dorian all the time. I'd say, listen, Brady's absolutely driven, and I love that about him, how driven he is. Mm-hmm. And I said, but he's always putting his family second. Yep. And obviously, I can't tell him everything. You know what I'm saying? I can't say, hey,
right.
But like, he knows that I've made decisions. He doesn't know like the nature of the decision, but he knows that I've made decisions to
be there.
There, prioritize our family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so admire that, but don't replicate that. Mm-hmm. Don't ever get involved in something where your family's constantly going to be, second place over a protracted period of time.
Yeah.
There are times when you have to put your family second for the sake of your family, right? Like, you got to work, you got to put food on the table. Now, obviously, they're going to be in a situation where that's not the case, and a lot of that has to do with the deal we closed today. But and it was, and so if he goes through with this retirement, and I'm not certain that he's going to be able to, because you know, I'm sure he was looking at the games this weekend and been like, motherfucker, I beat all
Oh,
these
my
people.
word. Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy Garoppolo versus Brady, that would have been it would have been a rout. They would have routed him. But if he's able to do that, I think that'll probably be his greatest accomplishment, honestly. You know what I'm saying? If he has enough self-control and discipline
That's a good point, yeah.
to know he could win an Super Bowl but walk away from it, I think that would be a massive, that would be like the pinnacle. It'd be a massive accomplishment. But, you know, hey, I disagree with you, Middle Earth. I don't think he knows that. I think Chris Godwin's coming back. Mike Evans is coming back. And if their defense gets some rest and they weren't as banged up as they were, I think they'd be right back in the thick of it, especially without a guy like Antonio Brown being there. So either way, if the song is directly about a relationship or if the song is, but again,
like you said about him leaving,
that guitar playing was insane. Like
it was
the
so
way,
good. And then his voice sounded really good in it too.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, I can't even. I do think early James Hetfield was still a badass riff guy. Like he's the one that came up with that one riff. Like that to me is the heaviest riff of all time, which has been copied a trillion times. The only thing that comes close to that as far as being copied over and over again is a blind riff, you know, from Korn. Shout out to Brian.
Yeah.
So I'm not dissing James Hetfield at all, but anytime you talk about Megadeth, you almost always inevitably talk about Metallica, but he's just so clean when he does his, and they're so technical. Even like sometimes when you're doing like heavy stuff, it just gets like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just gets, but it was so clean and technical and perfect. I heard every single note. Some of that has to do with production, but some of that just has to do with just being a badass, period.
All right, what do you give it?
This is the best song of the night for me so far, so I got it a 9.3.
9.7 for me.
You give it a 9.7? Okay.
9.7.
Okay. All right, well, I think that closes the night for us, is it?
It depends. He was thinking about doing one more. Do you still want to do that other one?
He must know about the channel. It's my brother.
Oh.
Stop spying on me, bitch.
Wait, close this review out, and then we can...
Okay. There you are, dear listener. If you're in the chat, we might have a song on the way for you. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? There you are. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.